I'm Lily.
And I'm Kiev. And welcome to the portal of our minds.
People
Om.
gonna call you crazy.
People gonna call you crazy.
But it's okay because there are people out there that
Unplug.
are gonna feel you. And you're gonna want to unplug too.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another piece of our minds. And today what we have for you is signs you're going through an awakening.
5 signs.
Yeah, they would know. The symbol, and then I said signs. You see how that works? Number 1.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
You might think you're going crazy, but you ain't.
You ain't going crazy, boo-boo.
You ain't going crazy, boo-boo. You're just realizing a bunch of stuff that other people are still blind to.
You're going to eventually start coming across a lot of information and other people through social media, through books, through like just random things that are going to start popping up that you're going to draw your attention to really quickly. And that's because it's all a like-minded thing when it comes to waking up. It's all a collective consciousness. You're not alone.
You're not alone. You're not alone. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
You're not crazy.
You're not going crazy either.
Moving on to number 2. You might start seeing angel numbers.
111, 11,
222.
When you're going through a spiritual awakening, the most common angel number that you'll see, at least from my experience and from what I've heard, is 111 and 1111, because that is the spiritual awakening number.
Yes, it means you're becoming more aware of the messages that are currently around you, that have always been around you, but you've turned a blind eye toward
Exactly.
it. It's been not in your peripherals.
Peripherals.
But in your blind spot.
Again,
your peripheral.
You're not crazy. This stuff is real.
It's real, and it's happening.
It is happening,
now.
and it may be happening to you.
That's why we're here to help.
Boy, what you got in your hair?
Paint. Moving on to number 3. Tres.
You're gonna begin to start questioning everything, because you're gonna start thinking, wait a minute. So if this is that, and then that is this, then what about this?
And how could this be this if that's this? And how could it be that if that's that?
You're gonna start thinking for yourself.
But just know, you're not crazy.
You're not crazy.
It's just real.
You're gonna start
You're seeing things with your real eyes.
Yeah, you're gonna start taking what you've been told your whole life and then start actually thinking about it with your
real eye.
With your real eye, rather than your physical eyes that are right here.
Because a lot of this stuff, that it's a spiritual awakening, which means it's on the spiritual side of things. It's not always on the physical, but it can be. You're
awakening to the fact that you're a spiritual being living this human experience, rather than this human living this 3D experience.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
It has to.
It has to. Or does it? Does anything make sense?
I mean, if you came across this video, you're more than likely going through an awakening right now. So this might trigger like that moment. Not like trigger in a bad way, but it'll like click and you'll be like, whoa, that does make sense.
Exactly.
Moving on to number 4. You might feel like you have so much to do. You do.
You do.
You have a mission. You have a quest. When you incarnated into this world, you signed a contract stating that this is what I want to help me grow. You chose the life that was going to give you the best outcome for your soul growth. And that is okay. So the stuff that you went through and what you're realizing is what made you who you are today. That was part of your contract.
Yeah.
That was your mission.
And a part of that comes with wanting to start studying a bunch, because you're going to start wanting to study this and this and that to figure out these things. And it's just what happens. It's a part of the process. You're not crazy.
You're no longer essentially living in the 3D. In actuality, you're living in the 4D, transitioning into the 5D.
Exactly. You're going to realize that you aren't here to just eat, sleep, repeat,
work.
You're gonna realize, wait, there's way more to life than that, and you're like, holy crap, I have.
You're
so
done
much
living on the surface.
Exactly.
You want to dive deep.
You're
you want to go down the rabbit hole.
Exactly.
There's so many out there.
After you go down the rabbit hole, finding your way back is.
You get lost down other rabbit holes because, you know, as rabbit holes go, it's like a whole city underneath the ground full of other rabbit holes.
True. An infinite amount of tunnels. Infinite amount of tunnels.
Moving on to number 5.
You might start to lose some friends, and family members might start calling you crazy, or they might start calling you a conspiracy theorist. But it's just part of the process, because when you go through a spiritual awakening, your vibe goes from here to here, but also to here, because it can cause, like I've said in a previous video, it can cause depression, because sometimes it does cause loneliness. Not as much in today's age, though, because so many people are going through a spiritual awakening. You can find clubs, you know, like there's so many people you can talk to now. Yeah, go to Facebook, go
Twitter,
to YouTube,
TikTok,
Instagram. Yeah. All these places you can find a community of people that are going through the same thing. So it's not as bad as it was before, where there was a lot less people going through it. But right now there's a lot of people going through it. So you'll find people who are you're gonna start attracting these people. This is what happened when we started going through our spiritual awakening. All of a sudden we're attracting these people who are going through the same thing, like not even on purpose. And then like old friends or family members that don't
quite grasp it
or would think that you're crazy or think that you're a heathen, they kind of just
or they think you worship the devil, which,
you know, yeah, like I still, you know, what are you gonna do? You know, what are you gonna do? Like, we all have our different belief systems, we all have our different this and that. But one thing I will say is there will be people out there, and even close friends, that might call you crazy or might make you feel kind of bad. So just be prepared for that. And then if you don't, and then they fully support you and they're like, oh my God, you're right, man, that's awesome. Because not everybody's like that. And if your friends are like that, then you got some really good friends.
And what's another thing that's amazing about losing the old and gaining the new is when you gain someone new who's at like another level above you and becomes a mentor in a way, who brings you up to the same level they're at. And then at that point, you guys can grow up and grow together spiritually.
Totally.
And it just opens your mind up to so many different doors. It also opens your real life to so many other doors, and you just meet an amazing groups of people that you never would have thought you would ever interacted with. You look back at some of your old relationships that you've had with other people, and you can definitely see the significant change in it, and it really shows too in your character and in your mental. Because once you wake up, there's no going back. There's no. You can
try, but
you can
once you have that spiritual awakening,
it's in here. It's in here for
you
good.
can go. You fall back into that veil of ignorance every once in a while, but it hits a point where you cannot go back. It's just the way it works. I mean, from my experience, what I've read, from what I've heard other people's experiences, once you've hit that, there's just no going back. There's no going back up the rabbit hole. So with that being said, those were 5 ways you can tell that you are going through a spiritual awakening. I hope this helped. And if you have any questions, or if you need someone to talk to, if you feel alone,
hit us up.
We got you.
Drop them in the comments.
We got you. Ain't no one going through this alone. I'll tell you that right now. Ain't no one going through this alone.
No one.
All right. We love you guys.
And peace.
Love you guys again.